What's up, guys? Tristan here with Team Red Deck Yu-Gi-Oh! And I'm going to give you my updated 60 card lawn mowing Infernoid deck profile. Made quite a bit of changes since the last time I profiled this about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I thought I'd share it with you guys. I really like this version. I've been running this exact version for the past week, but pretty much I've had the same idea of it for the past 2 weeks, so I'll get right into it. So obviously you run your 3 Decatron. It's every card in your deck. It's out for any floodgate. It's amazing. 1 Pure Mice. It's your Night Beam of the deck. There's not much to say. I think it's really good at 1. If we do end up going into a really big back row format, which I think we will end up doing in the Lynx format, I might bump it up to more. And I'm also not running the Goyo Defender version, so I don't think I need it more at 1. 1 Antra, it's your Compulse of the deck. It's okay. You don't really need it anymore. But a really cool thing is if you summon this and your opponent has Crystal Wing, it's just it's a free Crystal Wing out because he doesn't, Crystal Wing doesn't gain any attack because he's at 0. So that's something cool that has actually popped up. 3 Harmodic, it's level 3, it's a monster pop, and with Decatron it helps you go into your rank 4 and level 8 synchro plays. 3 Patrullia, it's your MST of the deck, and this is also how you go into your rank 4 and level 8 synchro plays. So that's all the baby Infernoids. If you get that off to the side. Alright, next for the medium guys, you run a Once a Jet. He's mainly here for the Void Feast play. I don't like running more than 1 because you never want to see it in your hand. But I don't know. It sucks when you mill him, but it's not the end of the world. 3's a Jet. It's probably the second best Infernoid. Just being able to attack something and then banish any card on the field, non-targeting, is really good. It really forces your opponent to answer to him immediately. So that's what I like about him. And then I run 2 Atandel. I used to run this at 1, but it's really good this format. Being able to just clear big Zodiac boards and stuff. He's just a beast. And 2800 attack for this current format is actually pretty good. And then finally for the big boys, 2 Devyati, 2 Anunku. I used to run 3, but I believe 3 is way too many just because you never want to see them in your hand, in my opinion. And a lot of the times I would mill multiples of them. And the issue with these guys is they need 3 Infernoids for their summons. And so they take up way too many resources. And so I feel that I added 1 Atandel for one of these guys, and I figured that was it was so much better. So that's it for all the Infernoid monsters. Next up you run 3 Raiden because Lightsworn Engine I feel is pretty good for just pure Infernoids. Being able to get those extra mills and extra synchro plays are just awesome. And then 2 Fairytale Snow. I feel that 3 is too much because you never really want to see it in your hand because you don't want to normal summon it. But Fairytale Snow is just a broken ass card. It's not once per turn. Multiple times I've resolved it 2 or 3 times in a turn. So it's pretty insane. And then for the final monsters, 2 Max C. I have a love-hate relationship with this card. Hunter knows this very well. My main issue with it in Infernoids is we run Reasoning and Monster Gate, and when you summon this off of Reasoning and Monster Gate, it's like getting kicked to the balls because it's just almost so useless. But usually what I do is if I summon it, I'll usually bring out a Decatron, and then I'll send a Harmodic, and then I go into Stardust Charge Warrior, which I do run in the extra deck. But yeah, that's it for the monsters of the deck. So we are running 60 cards because we are running that Grass Looks Greener. It makes our Infernoids broke, so yeah. 3 Void Vanishment. This card is amazing. It searches a lot of our cards in our deck. And also its second effect of when an Infernoid monster attacks, you can use Banish both monsters. That's actually pretty relevant. 3 of our awesome fusion spell. Just being able to send 6 Infernoids to the grave is just absolutely amazing. And then usually you see 3 of these, but we actually only run 1. And what I replaced it with is 1 Upstart, 1 Magical Mallet, and then 3 Into the Voids. So pretty much all these cards, what they're here for is to get us closer to our powerhouse cards. Our Void Imagination, our Grass Looks Greener, our Charge Light Brigade, Reasoning, Monster Gate, 1-for-1. It's to help us dig through our deck. And so what I found through testing is Left Arm Offering can just, yes, you get Grass Looks Greener, but it can hurt you so much. And so I figured with these cards, like with these, yeah, you have to discard your hand, but at least you can set your cards. With Magical Mallet, you can dig deeper for that grass, and an Upstart is just Upstart. And so what I found in testing is this is a lot more consistent to get to that Grass Looks Greener, and you don't have to completely abandon your hand. So I like it a lot. So that's kind of all of our 3-ofs with a couple of 1-ofs. Next up, 2 Void Seer. I see a lot of people running 1 of this, but I really like this at 2. Just being able to mill it and just protect your Infernoids from board wipes, and then also making your Infernoids unaffected by card effects if you have it in your hand or you set it or whatever, is just really good. And a lot of the times, your opponents can't get over Infernoids if they're unaffected. 2 Charge searches your Raidens in the main deck and a card on the side deck. 2 Chalice. I'm really bad. I have a Shatterfoil and an ulti, but I do have some ulti French ones coming in the mail, so don't worry, guys. This deck will be prettier in a little bit. But yeah, this replaced Dark Hole. I did really like Dark Hole, but Chalice is just a superior card because just being able to turn off monster effects like Crystal Wing and Trident is just really powerful. For our final 2-ofs, I do run 2 Instant Fusion. I do run Norden and another card in the extra deck, and so far it's pretty good. Sometimes I do kind of want to cut this card though, so in the future I might dabble around with taking it out of the deck. So that's all the 2-ofs. And then for our 1-ofs, you play the Holy Duo for Infernoids, Reasoning and Monster Gate. 1-for-1 to summon Decatron, and Burial from the Different Dimension to bring your Infernoids back. These cards are completely staple in Infernoids. If you're not running them, you're doing something wrong, in my opinion. And then for our final destruction cards, I run 1 Twin Twister. I used to run 2, but I replaced one of them with Galaxy Cyclone. Galaxy Cyclone is, in my opinion, actually kind of superior in a way of running 2, because just when you when you mill it, it's actually you get a second use out of it with its second effect. Yeah, you have to wait a turn, but it's been pretty relevant for me against the invoked cards. Being able to pop their field spell is really important because that's really annoying. And then for our final card, Rickeki, shout out Hunter for giving me this ulti. But yeah, I mean, board wipes are really good. And since I took out the 2 Dark Holes, I figured I might as well play the 1 Rickeki. For the final 2 cards of the deck, you play Void Feast, one of the most broke cards in the game currently. It's Infernoid's version of Gear. Being able to just summon a Sajet and 2 Decatrons, and then you dump the 2 Mom and Dad, Deviati and Anuku, is just really good. Opponent can't deal with it. Also, I feel like 2 is the best number for 60 cards, because with 3, you'll never resolve it 3 times, and I never want to see this in my opening hand unless I search it with Vanishment. So I think 2 is the best. For the extra deck, 2 Tiara, a 3400 beat stick that mills 3 and sends 3 from the extra deck is really good. Unfortunately, we don't have ints yet. Otherwise, this deck would actually be pretty insane. But we run Norden, her brother, because it's Norden. Until it's banned, you just have to run it. I do run the 1 Theseus. Theseus is pretty good. You can synchro with the Max C if you summon it off Reasoning and Monster Gate to summon a Black Rose or whatever. And then with Harmodic, it's an instant Omega, so it actually has some pretty cool uses. Alright, for Xyz monsters, we have 1 Diamond Direwolf. Being able to kill itself and kill a back row or force a back row on it is really good because it clears your levels. And so I was running Castel, but the thing was Castel didn't die. And this almost does a superior job. So I like it so far. We do run the Utopia package. This is for like rogue decks, like Raid Raptors with the Ultimate Falcon, Cosmo with their ships that can't be blown up and stuff. Like the Cosmo matchup is interesting because like with Dark Destroyer, you like it's 3,000, and so you only have Tierra and Anunku to attack over it or crash, so it's pretty good. And then we run one rank 7, Red Ice Flare Metal. Comes up a couple times, so I like it so far. And then one Hope Harbinger. Harbinger's really freaking broke. You can actually make it pretty decently turn 1 sometimes, but usually I find myself making it late game, which is just really weird. But yeah, it's pretty good so far. One Chanbara. So Chanbara is for the Norden Decatron instant fusion play. One Stardust Charge Warrior. So I actually go into this card a lot. The draw 1 is actually really good, just because you don't have a lot of draw cards on Infernoids. So I don't know. So far I like it a lot. It might not be like the best competitive play to be running this card, but I enjoy it thoroughly. One Scrap Archfiend. This helps you go into your rank 7 plays, and it's a vanilla beat stick. Black Rose Dragon, because blowing up the field is really cool. One Scarlet Red Dragon Archfiend, because it blows up the field. And also, I did go into Hope Harbinger with this card against Mr. David Robinson of our channel, so RIP to him. And then one Omega. I am thinking of bumping this up to 2, and if I do bump it to 2, I'm most likely either going to cut the Black Rose or the Hope Harbinger, because I think those, or the Theseus, I go into those the least. But that's the extra deck. Onto the side deck. This isn't perfect. It's not really built yet for the Artifact Wind Witch Invoke deck, but I like it so far. So for the Infernoid matchup, 3 Artifact Lancias, because Lancia is just really good because you can't banish cards. 2 Lava Golem. So this cannot be summoned off of Reasoning or Monster Gate, so that's a plus. And then killing 2 monsters is pretty good. And then another cool combo is it's at 2,500 defense. So you'll summon it in defense, and if you summon Sistemus, you attack over this and just banish anything else that they have, so it's pretty good. And then one Lila. I'm a scrub because I don't have the ulti, unfortunately. But you just side this in for back row heavy decks. You just take out a Raiden, put this guy in, or put her in, and you have a searchable MST. So that's pretty good. So that's the monsters. We do run the other 2 Twin Twisters, just in case you are running a really heavy back row deck. Then I'd rather have this over the Galaxy Cyclone, because if they flip Iron while in your standby phase, you cry. And then for our last spell, 1 Dark Hole, because I do want a little bit more monster destruction, just in case they just make a huge board and I just need to have outs. For the traps, I run 1 Lost Wind. It's a pretty cool tech card, but it's probably going to be taken out for right now, because only siding 1 of a card is pretty bad unless it's searchable, like the Lila. But I definitely do like the concept of the card. I might try and fit it in the main deck, but we'll see. And then also for the Inferno matchup, 2 Fiend Comedian. So if you don't know what this card does, you flip a coin, and if you call it right, I believe. Yeah, if you call it right, all your opponent's cards in their graveyard are removed from play. But if you call it wrong, you send a number of cards equal to the cards in your opponent's graveyard from your deck to your grave. So pretty much in the Infernoid matchup, there we go. So pretty much you either banish your opponent's entire graveyard, or you just get to mill cards. So pretty much regardless, you're plussing, which is nice. And then for our last 3 cards, the best trap in the game, Dimensional Barrier. It's chainable to MST, which is obviously amazing. It shuts down Zodiacs, shuts down a lot of decks, so it's an amazing card. But yeah, that's the deck profile. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe.